This is TWiT.
The news that many of our listeners forwarded to me recently was that HP has once again been bricking their printers when those printers are found to contain third-party ink cartridges. Here's what 9 to 5 Mac wrote under the headline, "Third-party ink cartridges brick HP printers after, quote, antivirus, unquote, update." They said HP is pushing over-the-air firmware updates to its printers, bricking them if they're using third-party ink cartridges. But don't worry, it's not a money grab, says the company. It's just trying to protect you from the well-known risk of viruses embedded in ink cartridges. What?
What? Well known.
What? HP has long been known, they write, for sketchy practices in its attempt to turn ink purchases into a subscription service. If you cancel a subscription, for example, the company will immediately stop the printer using the ink you've already paid for. In other words, disconnect from the network before you cancel your subscription. Wow. This is just so wrong. HP's CEO Enrique Lors somehow managed to keep a straight face, they said, while explaining to CNBC that the company was only trying to protect users from viruses, which might be embedded into aftermarket ink cartridges. He said, quote, "It can create issues where the printers stop working because the inks have not been designed to be used in our printers, to then create security issues. We have seen that you can embed viruses in the cartridges and through the cartridge go to the printer, from the printer to the network, and then it takes over the world." Ars Technica asked several security experts, actual experts, whether this could happen. And they said this is so far out there, it would have to be a nation-state attack on a specific individual, like who somehow got a cartridge sent to them
Your free
from Russia.
Are here. Congratulations.
Why is the label in Russia in printed in Russian? Well, we don't know, but trust us.
It's going to be good. Yes.
Perfectly good ink. So one expert said, purely from a threat modeling perspective, I'm skeptical unless it's a nation state doing a tailored attack. Another expert said, as someone who works for a different inkjet print company, I'd say it's pretty terrible engine design if you could maliciously craft a cartridge to contain a virus. Now, we're not talking about a liquid virus, right? It's not something that you don't want to inhale. This is like, a computer virus on like what? The chip that monitors the ink level? Anyway, he said the amount of information which needs to be stored on the cartridge is fairly small, like a serial number, right? If the data is not in the format you expect, reject it as invalid. And as a matter of fact, HP is known to be quite good at rejecting such things. The last expert asked said, I've seen and done some truly wacky hardware stuff in my life, including hiding data in SPD EEPROMs on memory DIMMs and replacing them with microcontrollers for similar shenanigans. So believe me when I say that this claim is wildly implausible, even in a lab setting, let alone in the wild, and let alone at any scale that impacts businesses or individuals rather than selected political actors. So, these experts are recognizing that, if you, given enough motivation in a, designing a custom attack in a lab, somehow getting a specific cartridge into someone's printer, maybe, but not like HP is protecting their customer base and the world because, those cartridges. Anyway, HP is facing a class action lawsuit no surprise there, for deploying the bricking code without informing printer buyers of its intention to do so. The lawsuit explains, quote, "This is a class action brought against HP Inc. for requiring customers who had purchased certain brands of printers to use only HP branded replacement ink cartridges rather than purchasing ink replacements from its competitors. HP accomplished this through firmware updates it distributed electronically to all registered owners of the printers, which effectively disabled the printer if the user installed a replacement ink cartridge that was not HP branded. In the same time period, HP raised prices on the HP branded replacement ink cartridges. In effect, HP used the software update to create a monopoly in the aftermarket for replacement cartridges, permitting it to raise prices without fear of being undercut by competitors." So sometimes you get what you deserve.
It's pretty
and in this
appalling.
case,
It's just
it is just over the top
so
bad.
much greed.
Yeah. And actually, we will be discussing greed a little bit later today because
Okay.
it seems to be
Comes up a lot.
a recurring topic, unfortunately.
Hey, it's Leo Laporte. I hope you've enjoyed this little snippet from Security Now. If you want the whole show, you can get it at our website, twit.tv/SN. Of course, you can subscribe to Security Now on your favorite podcast or just click one of the links below.